What is everybody? Welcome back to the Baseball Now podcast. I'm your host, Mason Braggins, and today is the week after the All-Star break, which was eventful. I don't really know how to put it. Uh, if you didn't see Jordan Walker won the home run derby, it was a fantastic home run derby. It was incredible. I loved it. It was great. The All-Star game itself, however, was incredibly boring. The American League won 4-0 against the National League, held them to 2 hits. It was the most boring All-Star game I've ever watched in my life. Like, despite the fact that 4 runs were scored, it was so boring. There was nothing of note outside of the home runs that happened, but literally that was it. So that's your All-Star weekend recap. I don't really care to say anything else about it because it wasn't that eventful outside of the home run derby. So we're just going to jump right into the top 10 teams, power rankings going into the week or going into the second half of the season. Start at number 10, the Red Sox, who are 50-48. They have a plus 45 run differential and are 13 games winning streak, a 13 game winning streak. They're 10-0 across their last 10. What in the world? I don't know where this team came from. What happened? Doing whatever. I don't know. Bonkers, to say the very least. Uh, we're going to talk more about them later, as that is the topic of today's episode, are the Red Sox. So we're going to go to the number 9 spot, which are the Cardinals. I believe. Got to make sure I have my numbers right here. 5, 6. Yes, the Cardinals still in number 9, holding into a top 10 spot. Are in a losing game of 2 games. 4-6 over their last 10, plus 4 run differential are 51-47. They are currently third in the NL Central. They start series against the Angels tonight. They just had a series against the Diamondbacks, which they lost. Again, we just mentioned Jordan Walker, who won the home run derby, their best hitter right now, slashing 292, 354, 524 right now. Incredible numbers from Jordan Walker. And you got JJ Weatherhold as well, slashing 262, 357, 404. Alec Burleson, 280, 342, 468. Great work from those guys. I think it's really just this offense that is helping them win games. Like, yes, they got a plus 4 run differential, and I think that's really just because their pitchers keep giving up runs. They have a combined 404 earned runs given up this season, which is, what's that, 36 less than their total runs allowed count. Their best pitcher, I would say, by far, is Michael McGreevy. Through 108 innings, has a 2.92 ERA and has 71 strikeouts. I think that's easily the best. And you got Dustin May right behind him, who has 95 strikeouts, a 4.78 ERA through 98 innings. Also great work as well. And their bullpen is pretty solid, I would say. Pretty, like an average 3 across the board, I think, is what we're looking at here. Most saves on the team is Riley O'Brien with 25. Great work from this Cardinals team. We talk about every week in the top 10, just the work they're doing as a team to stay in the fight despite being one of the worst teams in the league last season. They were doing fantastic work this season. It's kind of shocking to see, honestly. And then my goodness, I'm sorry. In the number 8 spot are the White Sox at 52-46 in their division, plus 45 run differential, 6-4 across their last 10. They are first in the AL Central. Once again, just bonkers that we're even saying that. Chicago White Sox, first in the AL Central. Insane, dude. Um, yeah, I mean, we talked about them, the last time we did a top 10. I didn't do it last week just because we headed into All-Star week, but we talked about it last week. Just, a very young team. They are playing great baseball, both offensively and defensively. Kind of, it's fun to see how well this team is playing. I mean, without a doubt, it's kind of incredible. Their stuff they're doing. I mean, you got a lot of guys batting over 250. You got Chase Meadroth. You have Sam Antonassi. You have Tristan Peters. And then a couple other bench guys batting over 250. And then Munetaka Murakami's back, who, I think once they get him back, they're going to start seeing a lot more wins. He's got 20 home runs. He hasn't hit anything since coming back from the IL, but hopefully he does. Hopefully that home run derby helped him find a swing a little bit, after coming back from the IL because he came back, played a couple games, and then went straight to the home run derby for Murakami. Kind of crazy. Happy for Miguel Vargas. Love that guy. He was in the Dodgers system for a number of years. Uh, just love to see him doing successful. So glad he got an All-Star selection. Definitely deserved it. Yeah, I mean, just this White Sox team is ridiculous right now, and I mean, their pitching is okay. None of their starting pitchers have, um, they don't have any ERAs below 3, but that doesn't mean they're not pitching well. Again, they have a run differential of 45 right now. So kind of insane. I mean, their pitching is kind of just okay. You look at it. I think I talk about this every week when they're on the top 10. Pitching is just okay. You don't have, most saves on the team is only 12. So, I mean, not incredible. But, White Sox are getting it done. They have quite a few pitchers on the IL, a handful of position players as well. A lot of outfielders currently on the IL for this team. But they're still holding it together, making it happen. Love to see it for the White Sox, I will say. In the 8th spot is going to be the Phillies. I think that's down a couple places from last time. They got a run differential of minus 13, 5-5 across their last 10. They're still a really great team. I mean, they're second in the NL East, only behind the Braves. So, I mean, doing great stuff. Brandon Marsh, Kyle Schwarber, and Bryce Harper obviously all got all-star selections this season for this team. Jesus Luzardo and Christopher Sanchez also got all-star selections for this team this year. Great stuff from all those guys. I mean, you got, and I think Johan Duran as well. But Christopher Sanchez, easily their best pitcher, 2.62 ERA with 144 strikeouts. Easily having an all-star season for himself right now. Again, Johan Duran, 24 saves on the season for that guy, 1.34 ERA. Excellent stuff from him as well. Just the whole team right now, I think I say this every week, they had a really rough start to the season, but just making it happen, playing great baseball currently. Like I said, Brandon Marsh, best slash line on the team right now. 293, 332, 476, I would say. Maybe the second best slash line, or you could argue the best slash line. Schwarber, 253, 368, 561. Then you got Bryce Harper as well, who is batting 258, 363, 490 this season. So great stuff from the Phillies in the 8th spot on our power rankings. 7th spot, or sorry. 7th spot is the Phillies. The 6th spot are the Yankees, who, I don't know, are still having kind of an implosion. Very strange. I don't really know what's happening with them, to be honest. 6-4 across their last 10. They won the last game in a doubleheader on against the Dodgers yesterday. Unfortunately, it was Evan Phillips who gave it up. Very mad about that. Thought he was supposed to come back and do great work. But I mean, this Yankees team, I don't really know what to say because like they were hot and they're still kind of hot, you could say. I mean, they're second place in the AL East behind the Rays, but it just feels like everybody's collectively imploding. Is what seems like it's happening just all across the board. I mean, if you watched the Yankees and Dodgers game yesterday, the first one of the doubleheader, there were many fielding errors from the Yankees just because, like, sure, it was bright outside. It was a very bright, sunny game, but all routine fly balls that were just missed because of the sun. I'm just like, yeah, sure, the sun is hot, but I mean, like, if you're a professional baseball player, I don't know. I feel like let me do a demonstration. This is what it definitely should have been a foul out that Ryan McMahon should have caught. He goes to the third baseline. He just and then it just stops looking for the ball and it just drops 3 feet in front of him. I don't know. So sorry to everybody who's like listening. You didn't see that. Um, but yeah, he goes onto foul territory. He's like he's got it, and then he just stops moving, looks around, and then looks down, and then it drops in front of him. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, you're like, sure, I understand you missing the ball in the sun. That makes sense, but like, just don't give up on the play. Same thing happened like earlier in the game. Jazz Chisholm and Sherman. I don't know how to say what's his name. I've got the lineup pulled up here. Um, yeah, Sherman, Max Sherman. Um, it's a shallow fly ball into right field. Both Jazz Chisholm and Sherman are going for the ball, and Jazz Chisholm just stops chasing it, turns around and looks at Sherman, and then the ball drops in between them. Like, what? Why? Like, why is that happening? They got Sherman making a play on a ball later. It was a fly ball, and then he thinks it's going foul, so he kind of just stops, like, still watching it, and then it just falls fair right in front of him. Like, didn't just stop trying to make a play on it. I don't know. It's the Yankees team defensively looks incredibly lost. Um, they don't really know for what reason why that's happening, and yeah, it's kind of insane. I mean, if you look at like pitches per plate appearance for each of these guys. I mean, it's like, you get a lot of batters on average who, like they battle through pitches. They get 8 pitches per at bat sometimes. The Yankees team average for pitches for plate appearance is just under 4 pitches. So that means more often than not, they're only seeing an extra pitch. Otherwise it's just 3 pitches and they're out, kind of a thing, which is kind of insane. I mean, you compare that to other teams in the league. I mean, let's just go like I don't even know. Like that's a stat I rarely look at. And it's something that you don't really think of, but you know, I feel like that's pretty telltale of a team that's not battling pitches well. I mean, there are a few guys who have an average of over 4 pitches per plate appearance. In fact, most of them do. But there are just a lot of guys who, barely see 3 pitches per at bat. I mean, I think that's a pretty, evident sign of a team that's not really trying to do too much. Sure, a lot of other teams are just like that. I think a more accurate stat to measure effectiveness on the plate would be, um, what am I looking for? Would be like chase rate. Um, I think that's really kind of what it is. I mean, you look and if you look at the team average per runs created per 27 outs, only 4.6. They've got a run differential of 85 right now. They haven't created 500 runs this entire season, which is ridiculous to say the least. Um, Kind of insane. And the team average walk to strikeout ratio, um, 0.42. I think that's bad. That means you're striking out more than you're walking. Um, there's not a single guy on the roster who has a walk strikeout ratio of 1 or above. Not a single guy on the team. So I mean, offensively as well, they're kind of just they look a little off. I don't know how to read that stat accurately, so that might be my fault. I might be saying things that don't even make sense, and you're flaming me in the comments for being stupid. And that's okay. Maybe I am, but needless to say, the Yankees have looked really lost offensively as of late. Now I think they have been getting better. There was a rough stretch a couple weeks ago where they just were not in a good spot at all. They're kind of bringing it back, I think, mainly because you look at it competitively, and the Rays have kind of lost it a little bit. But I don't know, Yankees still not making it happen. But speaking of the Rays, they're in our 5 spot for this week. Are currently on a losing streak of 5, 4-6 uh, across their last 10, getting swept by the Red Sox, who are on that 13-game winning streak. Insane right now. But I mean, that's not to say that they're not batting well and still haven't been since the first half of the season. You got, yeah, Junior Caminero batting 280, 369, 551. That's the slash on. Yandy Diaz, 310, 388, 471. Jonathan Aranda, 290, 388, 457. Chandler Simpson, 282, 316, 346. And mind you, Chandler Simpson is batting that well without any home runs on the season, which, you know, kind of sucks to say that he doesn't have any home runs on the season, but he's doing it work. And I mean, you look at his numbers specifically. Um, I mean, I don't know. He doesn't have one of the highest runs created per 27 outs kind of a thing. I mean, not compared to the guys who are actually hitting home runs. I think that's kind of more so him stealing bases. He's 23 bases stolen, which is the most on the team, which I think, gives more opportunities to be in scoring position and have a lot of runs. I mean, you look at his total bases, 118. He's only been walked 18 times, has only struck out 34 times. So I mean, that tells you he's definitely hitting the ball in, he just has a lot of base hits. Um, I, I don't know. It's hard to say specifically for him. I don't know. It's kind of very weird to measure his effectiveness. But I mean, you got Drew Rasmussen, who was on the All-Star team, kind of great stuff. He has 98 strikeouts on the season, almost at 100, a 3.26 ERA. Kind of crazy. And you got like Shane McClanahan as well through 91 innings, 85 strikeouts. Nick Martinez, 105.1 innings pitched with 62 strikeouts. Great stuff. This Rays team doing very good. I think they're just in a rough stretch right now, especially after, that 5 game losing streak is rough to look at because before the All-Star break, they won a series against the Yankees or split a series against the Yankees and then won a series against the Mariners. So good stuff, but then they just got swept by the red hot Red Sox. Unfortunate. But this Rays team still first in the AL East despite that. Cubs are going to take our 4 spot this week. North side, how we feeling? Uh, this team is kind of insane. I mean, you got PCA, one of the best, if not the best, defensive player in the entire league right now. His WAR right now is 5.7. You specifically look at his defensive WAR, 1.5 is his defensive WAR. Kind of insane stuff. I mean, a center fielder. People talk about, it's like how many 5-star attempts he has. That being the difficulty of the play he's making, insane. And not to mention, he's batting the best on the team right now. 284, 379, 519 is his slash line. He has 21 home runs, 53 RBIs, a total of 105 hits. Like, PCA is absolutely insane for this team right now. I mean, the pitching is okay, to say the least. I mean, a lot of their starters do not have great ERAs. The bullpen also kind of just okay. Their run differential is only 62. So, I mean, kind of just a combination of, a pitcher has like a solid outing and the offense just so happens to also pop off that game. And you look at, they've scored a total of 502 runs this season. A lot of wins with many runs scored, I would say, this season. They've had a lot of blowout wins, but they've also had a lot of blowout losses. I mean, I'm specifically, when they blew at the Padres 23-3 on that sweep right there, but then got blown out the next night by the Cardinals 17-1. However, this team is still doing great. Blew up the Twins yesterday 10-1. A great win for them. This Cubs team doing great stuff, to say the least. And our 3 spot is going to be the Braves. Now, Braves fans, I'm sure you're curious, like, oh, why haven't they moved up at all? Well, it's because they still don't have 60 wins. Uh, that is the main reason. I mean, like, they were the number 1 team at one point, and then they just had like a really rough stretch where they were losing 3 games, then winning 1, losing 3 games, then winning 1. Which really has just held them back as of late. They're 5-5 across their last 10. Just won a series against the Rangers after losing a series to the Cardinals before the All-Star break. But I mean, it's curious to say the least because we thought this team is easily the best team in baseball right now, and they're still in the top 3 obviously, but it's like, oh, are they falling off? They don't have 60 wins yet. Yes, they're still first in the NL East. Their bats are really good right now. You got Michael Harris 301, 331, 499. Drake Baldwin 276, 362, 480, 41. Matt Olson 296, 343, 538. And their pitching as well. You got Chris Sale, 206 ERA with 123 strikeouts. Grant Holmes, 370 with 78 strikeouts. So, I mean, they have great tools, great pieces. The reason, I don't know, it kind of just looks like they're losing close games. That happens to every team. You know what I mean? You get in a close game, and then the offense just doesn't show up. They just can't find the gaps, that kind of a thing. That definitely seems to what has been happening with the Braves over the past couple days. Has just been, they can't find it. Unfortunately, to say the least. How long this team is going to stay atop the NL East with the Phillies, only 3 games behind them right now, and the Marlins, who are just out of the top 10, but also still very hot. With those 2 teams, there might be a chance that the Braves lose the top spot in the division and start to fall in the rankings just a little bit. How much? I'm not sure, but I definitely think that is still a possibility for this team. Second place is going to be the Brewers, who are 62-37, 131 run differential, win streak of 3 right now, 6-4 across their last 10. And I mean, like, this team is still incredible. How they've managed to I thought for a moment that they were kind of going to fall out of the top five, but they've stayed in there very well. I mean, you got William Contreras batting 280, 346, 405. Garrett Mitchell, 280, 366, 461. Bryce Turang, 261, 358, 456. Jake Bowers up in there as well, 259, 366, 492. Great stuff from the offensive side of the bat. And we got Andrew Vaughn, who, is the backup first baseman behind Bowers, 307, 392, 464. They got a lot of great guys on the bench as well, who can, who just rake it. I mean, you got The Miz, 162 ERA with 167 strikeouts. Behind him, Kyle Harrison with a 301 and 101 strikeouts. Not too shabby either. Um, Good stuff from him as well, to say the very least. Unfortunately, Woodruff, I'm pretty sure, just hit the IL again, which is unsurprising. So I think he has a season-ending injury. So the Brewers will be without him for the rest of the season. I mean, not that he pitched that much, anyways. I think he, had only short spurts in the 9 games that he started. And I mean, their bullpen is pretty solid too. This Brewers team is fantastic. And then in the number one spot, the Dodgers. Only a half game ahead of the Brewers, 155 run differential, 4-6 across the last 10. I think the main reason I still have the Dodgers up here, I think it's just because, going into the back, like, sure, the last couple weeks for the Dodgers of the first half was still rough. I definitely still would have had them as the best team in baseball ending the first half if I did a power rankings at the end of the first half. Absolutely. Um, and I think because they just, won a series in New York against the Yankees, I think it's fair to keep them in the number one spot as well. I mean, Pages, um, 266, 333, 464 with a 4.5 WAR. Great stuff. You got Freeman, 285, 371, 477, 2.5 WAR. Otani, 290, 398, 540 with a 3.1 WAR. Great stuff. Kyle Tucker slowly getting there. Hopefully, that bat starting to wake up some more. It's better than it has been. Compared to like June, I would say. He's at 240, 335, 367 right now with a .7 WAR, so he's getting there. He still doesn't have 10 homers, so hopefully that the power can wake up a little bit because I don't know, Dodgers are paying him a lot of money to not do a whole lot right now, unfortunately. And I mean, the pitching is just phenomenal right now. You got Yamamoto and Robleski, who have under 3 ERAs. Yamamoto 113 strikeouts, Robleski 73, both of them over 100 innings pitched. Honestly, I mean, how many games have we played this season? Dodgers have played exactly 100 games. Um, Kind of crazy. So Robleski technically just qualifies for um pitching stats. Otani doesn't. He's just been, despite the fact Otani has a 179 ERA with 95 strikeouts, he doesn't qualify because he only pitched 85.2 innings. I don't know how much more he's going to pitch this season, unfortunately, because of the knee injury he has that he's dealing with, which sucks because, if Otani has enough innings to qualify, if he can maybe potentially now, he would still need 60 innings of work to qualify by the end of the season. If by some miracle he gets to that point, I think he easily has a Cy Young award this season. I mean, he has been one of the best pitchers in the league, despite the fact he's had a couple limited starts, has missed quite a few starts because of injuries or just, needing extra rest because he's also a batter. I I don't know. It's tough to look at, unfortunately, because, as a Dodgers fan, as an Otani fan, I want to see him get the Cy Young. I know he has that dream to get a Cy Young award because he is a two-way player. But the problem is because he's a two-way player, he's human. He deals with injuries. It's just hard to balance. Okay, do I want to prioritize pitching more? Do I want that award? Or do I want to prioritize being a great offensive bat? Which he's done excellent both ways this season. You cannot negate that. I think it'll just, if he doesn't reach over 162 innings pitched by the end of the season, it's going to disqualify him from being a Cy Young award. But on the other hand, I mean, if we take a look at, we go pitching leaders, in ERA, which is a scuffed. Here we go. Here we go. I mean, okay. If we take a look at it, you got the Miz in first, obviously. Um, and then also for the AL, you have Chris Sale, you have Chase Burns, you have Christopher Sanchez, Eduardo Rodriguez, Max Meyer, Foster Griffin, then Robleski, and then Yamamoto in 13th overall for the NL. I mean, you take a look, if we just sort by National League, I think, there's a couple good cases to be made for a lot of pitchers here. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I don't think, either of the Dodgers pitchers are good enough to qualify for Cy Young at this point. I mean, you take a look at the Cy Young race, the Miz is in first by far. I mean, just no doubt about it. I think you also need to put Chris Sale up there. Chris Sale, I think, gets an easy second in the running, without a doubt. Um, I mean, you could hypothetically, the ERAs are so close between a lot of pitchers. I mean, you have The Miz and Sale without a doubt, but then it jumps from Chris Sale's ERA 206 to Chase Bird's at 254. Then you have Christopher Sanchez and Edgardo Rodriguez at a 262, Max Meyer, Foster Griffin at a 268, Robleski at a 269, Yamamoto at a 278. I think if Yamamoto and Robleski get their ERAs down, because their whips are better than Chris Sale, uh, top three whips in the National League for qualifying pitchers are Mizorowski, Yamamoto, and Robleski. Those are the top three whips in the National League for qualifying pitchers right now. So all I'm saying is that if Robleski and Yamamoto get their ERAs down, I think they both make strong cases for Cy Young. But as of right now, I don't think either of them are in it. Um, yeah, I mean the Dodgers still best team in baseball. Uh, as a Dodgers fan, I hope they keep it going. Want to see them get that three-peat. That would be so much fun. That'd be great. Um, yeah, without a doubt, best team in baseball. But let's talk about the Red Sox. We've been here talking about the power rankings for almost 30 minutes now. Let's focus on the Red Sox and kind of, I don't know, find a storyline because it's so bizarre. You look at their, you look at the schedule. You look at the first half of baseball. Okay, you'll win the season opener in a shutout game against the Reds. Then you lose 5 games in a row. Oh my gosh. We come back home after being away for 6 games and we win a game against the Padres, then lose the rest of the series. Still at home, lose to Milwaukee, win the next 2. Great work. Win a series in St. Louis against the Cardinals, lose a series in Minnesota against the Twins, split a series against Detroit, one of those one of those being a 1-0 win in extra innings. Get swept by New York in Boston. You win a series against the Orioles uh, in Baltimore, lose in Toronto, lose at home versus the Astros, sweep the Tigers. I mean that was big for the Red Sox, going 16-21 right after that. That was great for them. Um, then you lose against Tampa Bay, you lose against Philadelphia, you lose against Atlanta, sweep Kansas City, get swept by Minnesota, lose against Atlanta again, win against Cleveland. You lose against Baltimore. Uh, you split the Yankees again. One of those games getting postponed. Then get swept by the Rays. Win against Texas. Get swept by the Blue Jays. Um, and then lose to Colorado in Colorado. Sweep the Yankees, which was so big after those 4 games. Uh, going 36-46. You're only 10 games away from 500. Great stuff, but I mean, you're still really far away from reaching that. And this is at the end of June, mind you. They're 10 games out. I mean, okay, they're 10 games out of 500 at when June ends, and then they drop 1 game back down, losing in July, the series ender against Washington, and then you win the next 9 games to end the first half, 46-48 to end the season. I mean, it's just like it's been up and down. It's looked like it's been mostly down for the Red Sox this entire season, and then you had June where you're starting to catch up to 500, and then you start July, you know, you end the first half 2 games behind 500. Insane. And you've started the second half by sweeping Tampa Bay, the best team in your division, the best team in the American League by far. Um, Insane stuff. I mean, in Aroldis Chapman picking up his 21st save of the season on Saturday's game, and then you have a blowout game yesterday, Sunday. I mean, it's insane. I mean, I'm sorry, Sonny Gray, 12-1 on the season for this team. Like, come on now, like Sonny Gray, 2.48 ERA through 101.2 innings pitched, has 12 wins, 90 strikeouts. Ridiculous stuff. I mean, we want to talk about the Cy Young race in the American League. I think Sonny Gray's right up in there. I mean, right behind Schlittler. Um, I think either of those pitchers could easily win it. Now, I think Schlittler definitely has the edge because he has a significant higher strikeout rate, but Sonny Gray's only has a 2.48 ERA, a 1.12 WHIP, and again, 12-1 on the season, mind you. Like what? What the heck? How? Um, Again, through 101 innings pitched, kind of insane. Has only given up 11 home runs. Has only walked 28 batters. Given up 86 hits. Has only allowed 28 earned runs. That, by the way, for starting pitchers in the American League is the lowest count. He still has given up only. He's given up under 30 runs. That is the lowest for qualifying starting pitchers in the American League. Ridiculous. That is some insane stuff. I can't believe it. Yeah, like Sonny Gray, ridiculous. I mean, you also have like Ranger Suarez having a pretty solid season now. Definitely not in the talks for Cy Young because he hasn't pitched enough innings, but he's 4-3. He has only given up 32 earned runs, just a few above Sonny Gray. Has 97 strikeouts. That's more than Sonny Gray. He's got the most on the team. 1.16 WHIP and a 3.15 ERA. I think I already said that. But like also great. And I mean, Aroldis Chapman. Come on now. Like sure, he's had a few blown saves, but he still has 21 of them. Like I think it's definitely really easy for a lot of people to be like, oh my gosh, another blown save from this guy. But you really look at the numbers, it's like, wow, he actually has a lot of saves. Aroldis Chapman, 21 despite having a 2.05 ERA and giving up 7 runs. Kind of great stuff from the leading strikeout holder. Did I say that right? The current strikeout leader for relief pitchers is Aroldis Chapman. I'm just like, great stuff. I mean, we can't talk about the Red Sox. I mean, just like their bats as well. I mean, you got a couple guys who were playing abysmal baseball. No doubt about it. Like Jaron Duran, after having a really solid WBC, having career worst season. 190, 254, 340 slash line. Kind of terrible. I mean, you got Trevor Story, who a lot of people thought were going to have another great season. Has only played 100. Has only played in 41 games this season and is batting 206, 244, 303. Not great. But, I mean, you got guys up there like Wilyer Abreu, 264, 337, 458 with 15 homers. You got Wilson Contreras, 283, 380, 551, 22 homers. Had a good chance to win the home run derby. Very, very close. I mean, just like I don't know. You kind of look at the numbers and it's like, dang, this team is kind of just average. The team average is 244, 315, 393 team average slash line, which isn't amazing. That's for a team in the top 10, not great. But there is something clicking with this team, over the last 13 games where they're just absolutely locked in. I mean, if we want to look at the total amount of runs that they've scored over their last 13 games. I got to do some math real quick. This is going to shake just a moment. You got 8, 7, 15, plus 8 again is 23, plus 5 is 28, plus 2, 30, 36, plus 4, 40, 43 to end the first half. And then you have 53 in a shutout game against the Rays. 48 55, 61. So they've scored 61 runs uh, in this 13 game winning streak, only giving up. No, I got to do that math. I'm sorry. How many did I say? 65? Is that how much I said? I already forgot how many runs I said. Sorry, 61 runs, right? Yes. 61 runs scored on this 13 game winning streak and have given up 3, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 17, math is hard. 23, 24. They've only given up 24 runs. 61 to 24 during this 13 game winning streak. Kind of insane. They're 50 and 48 right now. They have a winning record, which is crazy to say. Like it's bonkers to say the least. And they're staying at home after sweeping the Rays at home, playing Baltimore. They have a really long homestand to start the second half. Again, swept the Rays just now, playing Baltimore, then playing Toronto. So they have 10 games at home before they travel elsewhere. And I mean, I think that's only fair. They ended the season away, 9 games away, which they all won. That's kind of insane. To win 9 games away, I think takes a lot. And the fact that they're carrying this winning streak into home games says a lot. Now, these next 6 games going to be a test. I think they're playing. When we take a look at the standings, they're playing the Orioles, who are right behind them in their division, actually just 2 games behind them. After they're playing the Blue Jays, which are last. So kind of crazy, to say the least, making a route through their own division outside of the Yankees before they travel, and they're going to Oakland at the end of this month. Uh, yeah, this Red Sox team kind of insane. Again, looking at the numbers, it feels like they'd be a just average team, but there must be something clicking across these last 10 games. I can't particularly sort by last 10 games on stats, unfortunately. I mean, I can sort by the last 7 days, which I think will get us a better look. So I mean, you look at the last 7 days, um, which is really just the homestand that they had against the Rays. Um, I mean, is there no? Okay, I guess not. So I mean, the Rays home series was really good for a lot of players. I mean, you had Ceden Rafaela, who I mean we didn't mention, but is also having a great season. 281, 326, 435, with 8 homers. He's got the most hits on the team, 101. And he's their center fielder. Great work from that guy as well. Just wish I could sort by last 10 games, but I can't do that, unfortunately. Um, yeah, I mean, you look at the last 10. They're the best team in baseball across the last 10, technically. Um, but I think it's a little bit unfair to measure that just you know, based off of the fact we had the All Star break in between. But still, ridiculous stuff from this team. Um, Again, like I said, they look like just an average team on paper, but they're making it work. They're getting it done. So I'm not an AL fan, obviously, but we're gonna be watching the Red Sox with some high hopes for the rest of this season, I think, um, because they seem to be giving the city of Boston a lot of hope. But that's going to do it for this week's episode. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the podcast with people who love baseball. I love baseball, and I hope you do too, which is probably why you're listening to this. But we're still looking for help on the social media side of things. Yes, we do have a social media page, but can't always post things all the time. So, do need help on that end. If you are interested, please reach out to any of our social media pages. Baseball Now Podcast on Instagram, Baseball Now Cast on X. You can just send a DM there. I'll try and respond to it. Give me your portfolio and whatnot, and I can see if we can get you involved. I can't pay you because we don't make money. We're still way too small of a podcast to do that. But if you just have some extra time on your hands, you're a good graphic designer, you want to do something that's, a little bit outside of the norm of what maybe you normally do as a graphic designer, would love to have you part of the team. But that is going to do it for this week. Once again, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys next week. Peace out.